What was kind of like a Bible of what y'all were going to do? Kind of was freestyle.
There was an initial concept document, which was, I don't know, 3 or 4 pages that had been kind of pitched by our dynamic television and Echo Lake to Chris Regina at Syfy. And because Chris has developed about 300 movies at Syfy, he really has an idea what the audience wants, and then he had his own spin on that. And at that time, he said, I'll greenlight this project if you do it with basically Chad. So, finding the right showrunner, and Chad can speak about that with Neil LaBute, who was working with us on Hell on Wheels. We wanted to take what we had from our world, which is largely outside the sci-fi genre, and dive in with our own take on it, essentially.
So we heard that you guys were responsible for doing the casting for Jonathan and Chris. So
Yes.
What was the thinking of bringing them on board?
Well, we'd worked with both Jonathan and Chris on Hell on Wheels. Both brilliant actors. And our company, Nomadic Pictures, we've done $650 million in production. We do lots of series. It's kind of cool when you can actually get a group together of people, and let's grow Chris's hair long. Let's cut off Jonathan's hair. Let's give them first. It's got to be on the page, and it's got to be great characters for them to even say yes. And it's not, these series, some of them aren't huge paying jobs, so they need to be loved, respected, and give them, some material that they can chew on. And it was right from the get-go when we started, writing the characters. A part of my job that I enjoy is the casting process. Started with Kelly, Jonathan, Christopher, David Cubitt, Paul Johansson, Tim Guinea, and it's people that Mike and I have worked with before, maybe not on the series, but MOWs or features, and it's kind of like, again, putting the band back together. Come on, Paul, let's put the band back together. And we won't always recirculate the same actors all the time, because we've worked with hundreds and hundreds of actors, but when something comes on the page, one of the things I enjoy as a executive producer is jotting down those names of the people that would be great in it, and that list of people that we know. So that's how they came into our lives.
And having Neil LaBute as a showrunner and Simon together, and building the richness of those characters, that attracts those actors too. If it's thin on the page, likely they're taking another job, but so it's a lot about what's on the page.
So that's why we hired Neil LaBute. It was, he's not the first name you would think about that would, hey, vampires, Neil LaBute, he'd be great for it. So it was something that, again, what Mike and I like to do is think outside the box, and we're just thankful that Chris Regina at Syfy felt the same thing. So, it was literally, after going through that whole list of great, wonderful genre showrunners, ones that we'd worked before outside the sci-fi world, and then coming down with another list about what if we kind of straight off the reservation a little bit, go off a little bit right, and thankfully when I called him, his words were fucking brilliant, go for it, and that's how Neil came into our lives. So. And again, no guns were put to anybody's heads. They all had a choice. They all had agents. They all had managers. They had lawyers.
You guys had said before that you're not used to the sci-fi genre. So what kind of challenges did you have going into that?
Well, leading up to this, we had only delivered one.
Yeah, we did a picture called Mutant World. There was a young writer that I met with in Toronto Film Festival, and he introduced us to Karen O'Hare at that time at Syfy, and she just wanted to work with us. She said, well, you want to do a zombie western? Well, it ended up not being a zombie western because there's too many zombie shows, so they said, let's do mutants. Okay, that's how it rolls, I optioned a zombie western, but, now I got to get that same writer to write a mutant show, so, yeah, it was just kind of fun, and we delivered that show, and Chris liked working with us. And when he got the pitch for this show, he said, "I'll do it if Chad and Mike do it." So, you know, we weren't deep on sci-fi experience by any means, but we did the one MOW and then dove into this. But it's fun, and it's our first Comic-Con, and the energy and everything, it's just wonderful. It's a great audience.
And I personally love the genre. You know, I grew up loving sci-fi. It just never came through our, you know, $600 million in production, you know, and that's okay. You know, listen, we're very fortunate to have won Golden Globes and Emmys and Producer Guild Awards for our westerns, our period pieces like Klondike and Broken Trail and, you know, Wheels and Fargo. In a way, is actually a period drama. It's just, you know, 6 years in the past or 35 years in the past, or what's going to happen here on season 3 of Fargo is a little different. But you know what? It's a fun genre, and I think coming to Comic-Con, just seeing a dedicated, passionate audience member, that gets me excited. That gets me really excited. It's, you know what? We could be in this a very long. Actually, we can't announce it yet, but we have another sci-fi series we're about to announce next month. Yes. I know. Closing finance right now. It will be with Syfy, and it will be with some lovely big names. So we're enjoying it. We're hooked. Damn you guys!
From what we saw in there was a lot of brutality. A lot of just physical, brutal violence. Is that something you had to kind of negotiate a little bit with, or you have to kind of find a middle ground?
Well, hey, that's an interesting thing because, you know, when you're financing these things, Syfy, the channel's only, like, out of the New York office is only in for a smaller license fee compared to a lot of networks. So you have to serve some other masters in there. And it's quite, I mean, we thought we were going to have to version the show, but, you know, we just kind of stuck to our guns. We stuck to our guns and to tell the story. And, you know, it's all working out for us. Not without a few bumps, but, you know, we're not serving two masters. We're like telling a straight up story, and it's a brutal world we're dealing with. And we're not pulling any punches.
Yeah, at the same times in this post-apocalyptic world, there is humanity, there's love, there's a group of ragtag human beings that are trying to, you know, be a part of a resistance to take the world back over, and it's not going to be done by negotiating, you know, by playing cards. It's going to be done by physical violence. It's going to be done by brutality. That being said, you know, it's funny you say that because that's what the teaser and the trailers are. But when you actually sit down and see 45, 46 minutes, there's, you know, an act out, there's a murder or a killing or a fight. But really, the majority is not. So I think that's the reason why we hired Neil LaBute, is we hired him not for his penchant for blood, it was because he writes great characters.
There's that emotional brutality, a lot of the stuff that he does.
Exactly
right.
You got it.
Thank you guys very much.
Great, thank you. Thanks, everybody.